so that worked. But we stopped over in Tuscaloosa, and what we did to trick ourselves that way is we reserved the hotel ahead of time. Again, I was able to use my frequent flyer miles with the hotel to reserve the hotel. But that way we knew we had to stop because we were paying for it either way, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but that broke it up into 2 even 8-hour drives or 9-hour drives in that range.
That's not bad.
So it worked out just fine. I brought back my Schecter guitar, so we're having a big guitar night, and we'll play with it for some of the songs. My moniker guitar, the bone is coming out of its slot.
Oh no.
Up here. So I'm going to have to either take the strings off, put it back, put a touch of glue, or take it to the luthier at the store and say, why don't you change the strings and put the nut back at the same time?
If you have to do it yourself, use Gorilla Glue and then get a C-clamp and tighten it down and just let it dry for a few days.
Yep. When I looked that up, they said most people charge in between $40 and $60 to do that for you. I said, gosh, that's probably how much I would rather pay someone to do that. Rather pay someone to do that than to do it myself. The Schecter, so I was interested to hear it on our sound setup here.
Pretty.
Because then it's apples to apples, right?
Hi, pretty girl.
Exactly. That flame maple. Flame maple. This is actually a really nice guitar that they made overseas, but it's mahogany with flame maple and ebony neck, and so, but it has a bit of a lower tone than the bright.
Yeah.
Now, this one may go back to the luthier also. You know, I bought this one used, but this isn't the right pickup. This pickup isn't the one that belongs here.
Mm-hmm.
That this should be another Seymour Duncan JB pickup, and somebody came along and put an Ibanez pickup in there for some reason. And so at first I thought, well, I don't care because I'm not playing the bridge pickup anyway. I like the sound of the neck pickup. The bridge pickup works, but it's twangy and bright.
Are you able to adjust the tone because of that pickup
Could adjust
position?
the tone, but it adjusts the tone for both. There's a volume and a tone control for both the pickups, for both the humbuckers. But it's nice to have one guitar that's a humbucker. What I had to do is turn this one down because the humbuckers are louder than the single coils.
It's got a great sound.
Yeah. And the question now would be, I'm not playing that pickup anyway, I'm playing this pickup.
Mm-hmm.
But the question would be, is that going to bother me so much that the wrong pickup's there?
And the more you play with it, you might be able to fix the tone to what you like.
Yeah. And this again is something that anybody should be able to just change out the pickup. And a brand new pickup like that, you know, it's not high, it's soldering, but it's not, but a brand new pickup like that one's $79. So again, it's not a huge.
There is a job in Luther to be a Luther.
Yes.
When I teach my students how to change guitar strings, I'm like, this is a job. This is a job for the rest of your life if you want it. It's a job.
Yes. Yes, it doesn't pay that well, oddly enough. Now, what I've done here is I've put the same Dr. guitar setup, which is no preamp, no amp. It's got a delay, it's got a reverb on it. So we're hearing the guitar literally just amplified in the system. And so
something else, I can see your fingers with this guitar without you.
Well, that's what I was laughing about. Yeah, now our mandatory thing is a dark fretboard so that we can see fingers. But yeah, this has a beautiful darker
Rich
tone to it. And I love this one for Killing Me Softly. So we'll have to.
You
Now,
froze?
My big homework this
Why you
week.
freeze?
What?
Come back.
Oh, I still hear you.
Come back, Shane.
Now I see you moving. Now it's
Okay,
gone
good.
better. Okay. It said
Wow,
my
it hasn't
internet
done
was
that in a
unstable,
long time.
but I disbelieve. What I was concentrating on for homework this time, based on my guitar shopping, was learning more songs by heart. In other words, in order to be able to just play. And so, and here's what I think is a trick, is using, theoretically what you should use for the intro is the first line of the chorus, because
Yes.
the chorus is the heart of the song and da-da-da. But what I think is the trick is, if you just play through the beginning chords of the song, then you can remind yourself which song that is.
That is correct. When I play songs, when I do shows and I don't have any charts in front of me,
Yes.
the big trick is to remember the first word and the chord progression. So
Exactly.
yes, that is correct.
And that's what I'm thinking is. Got ahead of myself there.
Is that
I
running
like
down
the
the
sustain
road?
on this and the sound. Yeah, that one's our Tequila Sunrise. This one, I don't think you can guess what it is. And I think you could take that chord progression and steal it to make an even better song.
Yeah? What's the next one? Nope.
I love that these songs are actually easier to memorize than I was worried, because they're very repetitive. And also, if you know the words to them, you can start to associate the sounds with the melody, the sounds with the sounds with the words, in other words. And so this one, so that one was Yellow Submarine, if you couldn't tell.
The rhythm. Say the rhythm. Say the.
Where I was born, lived a man who sailed the sea, and he told us of his life in the land of submarines. So we sailed up to the sun's end till we found the sea of green. Now we live beneath the waves in our yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
All right, now do the
tickled.
same, Bruce. Do the same exact thing, but don't say the words. Same exact thing. reason why, because when you sing it, you have cadence. When you don't sing it, you don't have the cadence. So the cadence is important if you're trying to get somebody to guess the song. So yeah, that works.
I was trying to get you not to guess it. My wife pointed out I was singing the harmony on that one instead of the melody on that one day when I was practicing it. And so now I'm trying to be more sensitive to that. In other words, I was singing the chords that I was playing, not the melody.
All right.
Yeah. So instead of it being in the town where I was born, it was in the town where I was born. I guess I can't recreate it, but I understand her criticism. But because it wasn't the melody. This one is Pancho and Lefty. It starts off on a D, which is nice. Back to the G. Favorite one, it seems. She began to cry when you said goodbye. Sink into your dreams. Pancho was a band of boys. His horse was fast as polished steel. He wore his gun outside his pants. World to feel. Pancho met his match, you know, in the deserts down in Mexico. Nobody heard his dying words. That's the way it goes. All the better, all I say, could have had him any day. They just let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. So that one's coming right along. We know. Oh, I was. Closing time is a fun one, and I was trying to use it to go back to. We never use my play the bass and the drums pedal. And this one because it's the same 4 chords over and over again.
Yeah.
You could teach the pedal the progression, and then you're just playing the same chords, and it can guess the bass and so on. I need to tune the bass to, is that really a rock song? Is that an alt rock song? Is that a
You can change the tune key of the bass.
Yeah, maybe. You can change the volume of the bass. I'm not sure on the key. You can change the entire style of the bass. You have like 12 choices.
Okay, because I know you can do it on the SR18. You can change the key of the bass.
Yep. But what I'm hoping is that it's playing those 4 chords, although it doesn't sound perfectly like that. But it should be playing the C, the G, D, A minor, C on the bass is what you would want. That it's wandering through those four chords.
Eventually you would probably like a looper.
I think so. I have 2 gadgets that actually can act as loopers, but I suspect I would want a dedicated looper that makes it really super easy.
Yeah.
Like the same pedal that we're playing with right now, you can use that as a looper, and my GT1 can be used as a looper if you press the right buttons at the right time and the phase of the moon is right.
Yeah.
So I'm also trying a different pick to try and get less clicking noise the way I pick. And so this one is a Thermix Ultra, but it's a little thinner pick and maybe a little more flexible than the stubbies are.
Yeah.
So that, but so I like the Schecter. I've got to figure out what do I want to do with the pickup on that.
It took me 10 years to find the stubby, so
yeah,
picks take a while.
It could be a different pick with every song, right?
Yeah, it's available. I know that the jazz picks are different. They're like
smaller.
They're a lot smaller.
Then we've got more guitar news.
This is a mini. Let's see
What?
here.
Oh, nice.
This is a mini stubby.
Nice.
But the thick one, it's so thick. It beats up the string, and then this is a jazz pick. It's called a Jazz 3. It's a Dunlap pick as well.
Excellent.
And this is for like playing really, really, really fast.
I'll have to get my. I haven't played this in a minute. We'll have to get
Hello,
the tuner
acoustic. How are you?
out. No, this is my new acoustic.
Hi.
So I went and I figured out. We went to a Taylor Roadshow. I told you that was coming up.
Oh yeah.
And they have sales. They didn't have a great sale, but they have sales while they're doing the roadshow.
Nice.
They had things on sale, but they didn't have a specific sale for the roadshow. But then when I told him how disappointed I was that he didn't have a specific sale for the roadshow, then we were able to work out a sale price.
Is it acoustic electric or just acoustic?
It is acoustic electric. Because we use this strong condenser mic right here, it picks up the guitar just fine.
Yep.
I don't think you would hear it more over the electrics, although that's a very confusing topic to me, because if we isolate the guitar to where you could hear the electrics, you wouldn't be able to hear, you'd hear a mix of the electrics and the acoustic direct to the condenser mic. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You're going to have to hear the acoustic even if it's plugged in.
Yes.
It stays an acoustic.
Yes.
It stays a broadcast instrument. And so
my favorite thing about acoustics is you can do more percussive sounds with it. You can make it. It's what I learned on, so it's much more for me. It's much more fun to play with, because you can do more than just acoustic. I mean, just electrics.
It's somewhat more foreign to me, but as I said, the nice thing about this to me is because I haven't spent that much time around guitars in general, much less acoustics, or any kind of guitar, then I think it's healthy to hear what this guitar sounds like in order to understand how I want to tune.
And then what kind of strings do you have on it?
It came with light strings. They're Phosphor 8020.
So when you
Elixir Phosphor 8020, I think.
I love Elixir. I use Phosphor Bronze. It's a warmer sound. I like warmer. So Phosphor Bronze sound strings.
Yes. Until I know better, I'll probably keep it exactly putting on it what it came from the factory.
Raise it up. Oh, good, nice cutaway. Good.
Yep.
Hi, pretty.
This one is their model where it's solid wood on front, back, and sides. Every surface is solid wood.
That's
and then
good.
it's got
Oh yeah.
volume, bass, and treble built into the thing here. Otherwise, it's, well, one each standard guitar.
Wait, where's the battery? How do you get to the battery?
It's in the
Oh,
in
that's
here.
good.
There's a
When
little
they first
battery
started
compartment.
doing that, they only put it on the inside of the guitar. That
You have
was
to de-string it in
so,
order to,
yeah,
yeah. Now,
that's
what
good.
that means is you have to have a special strap to use with it because the jack comes out through that same port. That's where you would plug it in if we were going to plug it in. But I added that to my list and got a gorgeous leather Taylor strap to go with it.
Nice.
I know, and now the case smells like leather, so perfect. So I've still got to. One of the things I like about this is that I could hear it ring when I was playing in the store, which is what the guitars are supposed to do. And so, although some of the other guitars had a similar spec for less money, they didn't. I could hear the difference, so I said, "Well, that's the decider then." Is if, and I like the Taylor story about how he started the company and learned how to make guitars and da da da. But what they're doing now is, replanting the ebony forest in Cameroon and planting a new koa forest in Hawaii so that we'll have wood for guitars forever. In order, the problem with ebony is it takes 80 to 100 years for ebony trees to grow, and so people that want to eat just come through and cut them down, willy nilly. This one you won't be able to see it over the thing, but ebony, is famous because it's black, but it actually can have yellow stripes through it, and so I actually like that too. Is that the ebony fingerboard's got some yellow traces running through it. You won't be able to see it over I can't hold it close enough to see it.
It's pretty. I can see it I can see it's
But
it's pretty. And make sure when you start playing an acoustic, you definitely want to get you a footrest because it's
I'm
gonna
doing
make
that. What I've done is I'm using my drum machine box under my right foot, and then I've got my knee up in the air. You can't see it because of the camera. Then I've got my knee up in the air, so that tilts it back enough that I can see the fingerboard. So we will try to do, the one I have not memorized well is Killing Me Softly. No, we played that one. Let's play Dock of the Bay. I have not, I kind of have that one down, but not perfectly. Sitting in morning sun. Here's the problem. Sitting in the morning sun. I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in. Then I'll watch 'em roll away again. Yeah, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. I had nothing to live for, look like nothing's gonna come my way. Yeah, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. So, here, we'll do your favorite part. I'm waiting for you to start the next section. Wait, I'll put your picture up so I can see it. Now, start over again. Perfect. So you can do harmony on the Zoom. We'll have to tell them. They'll be surprised. The other thing I'm having to learn with this one is humidity
Yes.
control. And so we have a nice D'Addario humidity control. What
Yeah.
this does is if it's too humid, it makes it less humid, and if it's not humid enough, it makes it more.
It's a pouch of sand.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's a pouch of magic elfin powder that you can pay them $20 every 6 months for.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a pouch of desiccant is what I said. But that I throw away with all the other boxes. But
Fairy dust.
I love that they have made it this easy. Because basically it's a 3-pouch system. There's one pouch where the headstock is, and then this second pouch you put it. And I'll have to.
On top or in the, yeah.
You put it in between the strings.
Yep.
So that it threads in between the 3rd and the 4th string. And then I procured a humidity meter to stick in the case. So I can open the case and make sure that it's in the right area for humidity. Let's see if
Guitar
I can.
nerd.
Oh,
That's a great case.
yeah, that was an interesting, and it's got a nice
Pretty case.
velour. Taylor was having trouble getting enough cases. Like they would get a lot of cases, and then from their supplier, the suppliers were having trouble making enough cases. So they finally just said, we're going to have to make our own. So they just make their own cases.
Cases are for me 90% of my music life. Because if you don't have, you have good gear, but if you don't have good cases, your gear doesn't matter.
Yes.
When you're traveling a lot, you need good cases.
It doesn't get there.
Yeah.
And so, so at first I was thinking, well, this way I'll have my rival and then I'll have my Schecter as a backup. And then after I got it here, I thought, well, maybe I want to keep one or the other. But then I thought, well, this one's single pickup and that one's humbuckers. And so that way I kind of have.
You have two varieties. Humbuckers are the go-to, though.
See, I always thought the single pickup because you basically got 3 different guitars, 5 different guitars based on the settings. And so in addition to the 99 different presets on the pedal, then we can pick out 5 different ways to play the 99 presets. And so this kind of Strat setup, which is, this is basically a Stratocaster setup. And so gives you more variety. It's definitely brighter, and that's even with the tone turned to about 60%. If I turn the tone down anymore, it starts to sound too muddy. Now the nice thing with the pedal, because the only thing we're doing with the pedal right now is delay and reverb, I can actually run the acoustic through the same pedal.
Mm-hmm.
And da-da-da. So, but what I'm thinking is use the acoustic for, my wife asked me along the way, well, how often would you use the acoustic? But I actually think you use it every day because this song needs to be acoustic, that song needs to be electric.
Depends on the song and what you want to feel and what's the room and how loud do you want to be, how not loud do you want to be.
Well, I get that part. I'm doing the room wrong because my room is jam-packed with stuff and it needs to be more empty. But I'm going to work on that long term. I've gotten rid of I had a vinyl cutter sitting here, and so I've done away with that. And then eventually this whole table that's here next to me is going away. And then we'll move the speakers back behind the thing and make all this free music area.
Yeah, put your pedals, like mine are under my feet.
Which would be, in front of me would be nice. So what song have we not? I think that got us through almost all my songs. Now, I'm kind of abandoning Nights on Broadway because it wasn't a great guitar song.
Right.
but that keeps us 6 songs so far. Well, with Brown Eyed Girl, that's 7 songs. We haven't played through Brown Eyed Girl is the one we haven't. I don't know if I can do Brown Eyed Girl. The other thing I did is I just printed out a chord sheet to stick in my pocket for each of the songs, so that while I wasn't doing anything else, then, or if I got stuck somewhere, and unfortunately I left it in my other pants, but if I got stuck somewhere like at a guitar store, that way I'd have a sheet of paper that I could just open up and say, oh yeah, it's, da-da-da. Here's how you start on that one. Let's see if I don't have Brown Eyed Girl queued up, and so let me open it up.
One of those songs that I did yesterday.
Yes?
What was it? The Bobby McGee song.
Yes.
And again, I said, this is my first time to ever play it. And one of the people in the group that was there was like, that song was wrong. It was all wrong. And I was like, again, I've never played this song before. I don't know the words to this song. I know the words that everybody else knows, me and Bobby McGee. That's the part everybody knows. And I was like, well, you might want to send me the right words, because I got it off of Ultimate Guitar. So I just thought that was funny. But it also reminded me that means I'm doing good, because somebody's pissed. I was like, all right.
You're
cool.
doing something. That's the important thing, is that, if you're not getting criticized, maybe you're not doing anything.
Yes.
I agree. Now, someone sent you a lovely compliment in your group chat that you didn't respond to, which suggested to me that you didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Most of the stuff goes by so fast, I don't get to see it.
No, this was after the show.
I didn't see it.
After the show, somebody posted in group chat that they had gone and watched your YouTube channel, and it was amazing to see you play a guitar behind your head, and you have a beautiful lifestyle, and they really enjoyed the show.
Oh, neat. I didn't know. I'll go and check.
I wish I'd written down who said it. Does it keep text like that
It'll
in
keep
group
it.
chat?
Yeah.
Because it looked like you were on, but it could just be that she was confused as I was, because the group chat was on, and there were still 6 people in group chat, and you weren't on anymore.
So I don't know I don't know how I didn't notice, because when I'm performing, I don't get to see. I turn off all the chat because it distracts me, and I can't read the comments at the same time and perform, because total distraction. Anyway, so I'll have to go back and look and see, because I don't ever see that people are in the group chat talking to me. I never see that.
Yeah, you have
to go
to
turn it
click.
on.
What happened is when someone talked specifically in group chat, it opened up a new chat window. So then when I clicked on that chat window, I could see 7 people in the group.
Oh, see,
and this lady saying things.
If you're in there, Bruce, just say stuff to them. She can't see it, so she will see it. She will eventually respond. That's what I depend on people like you for. I'm like, I can't see. I don't see it.
Yeah. As I say, I wasn't clear if you were on or not, and I bet she thought you were on. But what it may be, because your group is named Sonya Jevette Group, and then that gets truncated, that it just looked like Sonya Jevette. And so she sees the Sonya Jevette bubble and assumes that you're in it.
I'm probably in it, but I'm not responding.
No, you were in the group, but you may not have been online anymore.
Right.
But the group lives on, right? Whether
you're
on or not. So let's
and
play through.
I don't know which one you're using, Phoenix or Fire or the Phoenix does not act like Singularity. I have 2 ways to get in the Second Life. Go.
Yeah, I'm using the standard viewer.
Oh, there's 2 others.
Yeah, the block standard, the one that the company came out with. So, and I haven't shared all day, so I will share. You can't see my fingers on the fretboard anyway because it's a blonde fretboard, so I will share my screen. This one is Brown Eyed Girl. stop that one there because we're going to be close on the end of the time, and to still give us a chance. We always have a wrap-up chat before we wrap up.
On this song, for all of your songs, let's get you closer to not having to do this with the guitar. Because
That's why we have the overhead mic, though.
That is right. But it also doesn't get your memory to keep for the songs. You're having to look at your hand, go back and look at the song, look at your hand. You just want to look at the music if you're going to read off the music.
Yep.
And it's just body memory, that's all. But otherwise, it sounds great.
That's kind of why I'm thinking I need to get off the sheet music altogether.
But after you learn the song, it has to be perfect in your memory so you can get off the sheet. And that takes a while. Like there's a solid chord progression for this song, right? How many notes are in how many chords are in the first, I guess, 4 measures? It probably
4.
Repeats.
It does everything is G, C, G, D7, G, C, G, D7, G, C, G, D7 until it comes to the refrain.
So that's your pattern. You get that in your body memory without having to swing back and forth. Because half of it, you did that. You were good.
I think it's the D7 that I need to work on.
Don't run it. Slow it down. Go.
Yeah, so I'll work on that exchange. I think that's what it is the D7 is the problem. I'll put the TV on and the guitar over.
I mean...
But it's the D7 exchange that's a problem. The other one that's relatively weak is the A exchange. When I go to A, I need to feel it out more. And then, of course, B minor. But, yeah, it's the D7 that's the issue. Sometimes my calluses are catching on the strings when I go to D7.
Get you a nice buffer, a fingernail buffer.
Yes.
A flat one.
Yes.
Just buff them down.
All the time, or just when you can see the calluses?
When they're actually catching. If they're catching, then you should file them down.
Yeah, because I have ridges in my calluses.
That's a good sign, but they will
well, they
cut
don't
you.
hurt anymore.
They will cut you.
So I'll work on that exchange. Now,
I like the sound of that pick. It sounds good.
I'm trying to get away from the clicking by playing softer on the pick. Switch songs there. In other words, digging less with the pick and trying to strafe across more.
It should be like it should be a graze. It should be a
I tell you, I was
skim.
Yeah, my one of the music shops said I needed to hurry up and spend my frequent flyer points, so I got some Clayton exotic wood picks. They're kind of the same size as the. I said, well, send me those. If you got to send me something for free, send me those so I can try them. So there's wood. 2 different kinds of wood.
Ooh,
with a beautiful thumb thing. But this one makes an even louder pick sound.
Okay, wait. So strum softer and don't try to go fast. Okay, even softer. I don't know
I hear
how.
a clicky sound.
There you go. All right. And Bruce, wait. Switch when you're doing that. Also, switching guitars strings is gonna help with that sound. Because I have chrome flat wound sounds strings, so mine don't have those ridges on the
Yes,
string. Yours has a lot of ridges, right?
yes, on the
So
lower strings, not on the upper
yes,
strings.
correct.
But I'm playing the upper strings more often, like on the day. I'm getting it up on the upstroke is where it's coming.
Yeah.
It's when I'm coming up. This is supposed to sound warmer according to the label on the box.
Switch guitars. Let's see what it sounds like. Like maybe switch to your acoustic so you can hear the real sound.
Now I'm going to, on the acoustic, I really prefer the pick we were using. This one sounds, you can hear it way too much.
Yeah.
It's too crass for the acoustic.
Cedar fever has started here, and I'm hoping I don't catch it this time.
Let's take the humidifier out.
That's so clever.
That would probably be better. Now I've got it stuck in there because I jiggled it. Get that end out, and then let's see what's going on with this end. That one came out of its packet a little bit and got stuck on the string.
Or maybe it's oatmeal.
Could be. That's my upstroke is the problem.
Try tilting. Okay, so right now you have a up tilt. Try tilting your hand down. So you have a hole in your hand is out.
Yes.
Try to bring it more. Yes, not that much. Yes, there you go. There you go.
So this one makes an even more plasticky sound on the upstroke as the
same thing. Tilt the whole
toward you or
instead
toward me?
Towards you. Not so much. They're right there. Right there. Yeah. You're gonna like the acoustic.
I think so, and I like that you could take it anywhere and just play.
Yes.
You know, so I could take it downstairs for family night or whatever, and so lots of learning here. But I was disappointed that whatever I'm doing, whatever user error I'm doing that's causing the clicking, it wasn't solved by the going with the wooden picks.
The clicking is going to always be there. It's going to be the strings that will change the clicking pronunciation. It won't be so loud. Like if you had pure nylon strings, you wouldn't get that bright click. But again, I have chrome flat wound strings or phosphor bronze strings on my strings because it makes them richer and warmer.
Yes. Now, and on the Schecter, I'm not sure if the Schecter has had its strings changed in years. And so that's another topic where I need to...
You'll be able to tell by the coloring of the string and
yeah.
whether it's unraveling.
I suspect whoever it was that did the mechanicking on it before, based on the poor workmanship on the screws, that they did poor workmanship inside as well.
Mm.
And so that's the other thing that lends me toward taking it and having a luthier redo, put the JB pickup back in and solder it in, and change the strings at the same time.
But she sure is pretty.
Oh yeah, if it were made in the United States, it would be perfect. The only thing they did wrong, they were only making custom guitars in the United States, but they said, you know what, we can take our formula and have them made overseas for less money.
Yeah.
And so, but it's a beautiful guitar.
It is indeed.
With the mahogany back and the flame maple and ebony, and it's a solid black ebony. Just some traces. Yeah, this was the Terry Corso model from Ant Farm. That's why it's got ants on it. You can't see that over there.
That's funny. I can see something. I just didn't know what it was. That's cool.
Alien Ant Farm. Terry Corso is from Alien Ant Farm, so doesn't have normal fret markers. It's just got 2 ant heads down here on the 12th fret.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a pretty guitar, and it has a much warmer sound to it than my moniker does. But and I sold one of my guitars.
And you got what? The other one?
Well, acoustic? That was part of after I got the acoustic, we had to get more serious about selling the vinyl cutter, the guitar, the heat iron,
gear
all the stuff I wasn't using. Exactly. And so, but the original starter kit that I began with, that I got, 2 Christmases ago, I sold that one off. So it went off to a good home to someone else's kid to start playing guitar. So yay. But that one was a real guitar. It was a double humbucker, but it was a Epiphone Les Paul special.
Mm.
In other words, it was an actual wood guitar. This other starter kit I'd gotten for a vacation guitar, which drove me to go get something else, was not. So I have another starter kit I'm going to sell next, but I'm going to ask very little for it because it's, you know how you read all the things where they say, oh, you can get this really inexpensive guitar from Amazon with the amp and it still sounds good after they plug it into their $1 million amp.
Right.
This one doesn't feel nice. Like the fretboard feels like plastic.
Mm.
And so it's not a good guitar. Luckily, I have no money in it.
It's always good to be able to touch the guitars before I purchase them. So
absolutely. No, and to be fair, it worked great for what I wanted, which was I wanted a guitar to be there in South Carolina when I got there that week for vacation.
Yeah.
And it arrived in time, and I was able to practice that week. And I was able to practice all last week because we were bringing the Schecter back with us. And so every night I'd go back to the hotel and practice with the headphones and the amp. So now I've got the practice amp I got with the Schecter that I'm going to go sell, and the other starter kit that I'm going to go sell. But yeah, I'm having a big time with the Taylor.
You'll have to name all your babies.
Well, this one I generally I call them by manufacturer name, but yeah, I'll have to work on that.
That's Honey.
Thank you for being on. Oh, good. That one's your like a 335, right?
Yeah, that's my workhorse.
Yes. You play about the same tuning on all the songs, right?
Yeah, I don't change tuning because I don't want to. I could, but I don't want to. So I stick with 440.
My teacher told me that. She said, make up your set list.
Yeah.
And note the tuning on every one of them.
Yep. It'll make your set go faster. And then it'll put it in your body memory. It's like, oh, this is all in C. Nah, all the songs are going to be C, so it's great. Yeah.
So, good. Okay, all right for next week?
Yes.
All righty. Yep. Thank you for being on this week. Sorry we ran over.
Oh, I'm never sorry talking to you, Bruce. You're one of my favorite
Good luck
people
with
to,
your motorcycle savings account.
I had a